Okay, because I forgot to press record, I'm just going to quickly say it again. For those of you that are watching this later, our fabulous sponsor this month is 7 Dot Studio. And for the entire month, I will be using 7 Dot Studio paper and or collections, I should say. And so, oh, excuse me. So this for this week in particular, I'm going to be using the collection called Messy Head. And it is super, super fab. And this is the 6x6 pad, but I'm going to show it to you in a 12x12 because it's just so awesome. And look at this. I mean, is this not stunning? And I don't know if you can see, but there's like some really cool pink and splatters on this page. And I know the camera might have a hard time seeing it, but look at this. I mean, can you see like the tea marks or coffee marks, right? Really cool. And this has all, it's really cool what it says on here. So you got to get the paper to know what it says. So that's the deal. Get the paper and then you'll be able to read this. Okay, that's my thing. And look at this one. I mean, super duper fun, right? And this collection is called Messy Head. Look at this wood grain. Is that not stunning? Love that. And I think this is between this, or is this the same one? No, it's not. Between this one and this one, they're two of my faves. I just love this. Just love this so much. Look at the backside. If that's not yummy, I don't know what is. And look at this one. Hello. Isn't that so fab? Okay, you've never heard of them? Oh my gosh. Just wait till you see this. And look at these. These are so cool. Hi there. You can the days of the week. Amazing day. Love happens. Remember what matters. When you're around, magic happens. What mood you say. It's so cool. It's so mixed media. It's so perfect for us, right? And check this one out. Oh my gosh. I just love these papers. I can't get enough. And another little tags. I just love these. I love this one. Just close your eyes and amazing things will happen. And check out the pictures I printed of Ava, right? There's the big one, which I think I might use, and she's got like glitter in her eyes, which I thought was kind of perfect for, if I use this little saying. I just found inspiration in that saying and I just loved it. And there's a couple other ones I printed. This one's one of my niece and Hannah. And then this one's me and Tanya. So I don't know which one I'll use tonight, but I printed a few so that I could have some inspiration. And look at the backside. Oh, is that not just fabulous? Seriously, if I didn't have to design with this, I'd hoard it. That's how much I love it. They all come with alpha sticker sheets, which is so awesome, right? Because you could do some pretty fun stuff with that, write a whole bunch of little titles with that. And these are awesome because they're perforated tags, which is, they call it elements 6x12, but there's so many. Like these are like little arrows. Happily ever after. Like, I mean, they're so fabulous, all of them. Can you guys see them? So really, really sweet. And this one fell off. I don't know what happened in shipment. Some of them got a little bit. Sometimes they get a little bit messed up, right? Wonderful things happen without a reason. Like these are all tags that punch out, so they're perforated. I just love it. So, and little journaling tags, and these all, they come right out, which is just fabulous. So we're going to use that tonight. And like I said before in the mixed media group, if you haven't seen this month's post, is we're going to do the challenge this month is to either use a sketch or a color palette that really appeals to you from Once Upon a Sketch and Scrap Around the World. And today I'm going to be using the mood board and the sketch from Scrap Around the World. And you guys can go ahead and if you just put scraparoundtheworld.com, it'll pop up. And it's so cool because this is a black and white sketch or mood board. And a mood board is really cool because you can take the color of it, you can take some image that really inspires you by it, and you create whatever layout you want out of it. or you could just use the sketch, right? Or you can combine both things, which is really cool. I'm going to do a combination of both tonight. I'm going to do a combination of the mood and the layout, but you don't have to do that. You can use whatever inspires you. And you know, one of the misconceptions that people ask me about sketches is, do I have to follow it exactly? Not really. It's really a guide. You know, you want to kind of stay within some of the guidelines, but you know, it's just to allow you to have some, you know, to not be so constrained in your creation. So sometimes I find I'm less constricted when I have a sketch because I kind of can, you know, I have some guide to go by, right? Sometimes when I have too much creative freedom, it gets lost, and I have too many ideas in my head. This way I can kind of concentrate my ideas into one thing. So enough talking and let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to pick out my background paper. And I kind of want to stay a little bit with the black and white theme, not too much, but a little bit. I might use some teals and a little bit of the pinks. So I want to find a paper that's fairly neutral, if you will. And there's one that I had picked earlier. Which one was it? Now I can't find it. Hang on. Which one was it? It wasn't the tags one. I think it was one of these. I think it was this one right here. Okay. It was this one right here. This one's fairly white. It does have, you know, some of the pinks and such on there and some of the stamping. I could use this one as well. It has a little bit too much brown, and I didn't particularly want that as much. I mean, I do like it, but I don't know. This one I really love. I have a little bit more creative freedom with this one, so I think I'm going to use that one. And instead of using a big one, I'm going to do these two photos, which is the same photo, but you'll see how I use the same photo together. Now, this sketch has 3. I don't care. I'm using 2. So this is like kind of where you can have a little bit of creative freedom, okay? You don't always have to follow things exactly. Okay, so I'm going to cut my photos so that they're ready, but I'm going to put it on the side so I don't, you know, screw it up. The other thing I want to do is I do want to cut a little bit of the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the sides, and you'll see why. I'm going to mat it onto a different piece of paper. Okay. Oops. And this one in particular is called Messy Head Love Letter. Okay? Yes, love letter. Okay, and we're just going to put it on the side there. And so what I want to do is I want to cut about, I'm going to say 1/2 inch on this side. And then I'm going to cut from the bottom, I'm going to cut 1/2 inch. Okay? All right, perfect. And I save these because we're going to use them. Okay. If you're following along, this is how you create. And then the next one is I'm going to grab one of my darker sheets. Whoops, I just dropped something. And I was kind of thinking of using this blue, but I'm not really using that much blue. We could use this brown. I don't know. I like this one. I'm just playing with you. So hang on. All right. I'm actually going to use this one. That's what I'm going to use because it's one of my faves. So I'm using my 2 favorite pages. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that strip off. And this one is called Newsflash. I love the names. Olga, you did an amazing job. Love it. Fabulous, fabulous collection. Okay? You rock, girlfriend. And what I want to do with this one is I want to take my Prima Distress tool. If you don't have one, get one because it's amazing. Okay? And you're going to go ahead and give those edges a really, really fabulous rough rippage. Lots of rippage, my friends. I use, what printer do I use? An HP, just a second, it's right under me. I'll pull it up so you guys can see it. It's this one. Let me see if I can find the name. It's HP PhotoSmart 375. That's what I use. Okay. Are we having mod issues? Sorry. No, I'm unable to make you mod. Sorry. I don't know what's happening. Okay. And I'm distressing the heck out of it, as you can see. I just love that. Okay. And ripping, and I don't care. I just love that. Okay, just like so. And so that's going to kind of sit about right there. Okay, so when you lift it, can you guys see that? Really fun, right? Okay. And so what I like to do is I don't necessarily, sometimes at the end, I go ahead and do the edges if I think that I want to, but I kind of leave it free. So what I do is I only put glue in the middle, and then I go ahead and glue everything down after I finish my layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my, oh, there's like some fibers on there. Gross. I'm just going to use my ATG gun, and I'm just going to put some in the middle. Okay. But enough so that it doesn't come off either. Okay. And perfect. Oh, look at the back side of this. Seriously, this is so stunning. It's killing me. It's killing me. All right, just like that. Fabulous. You know what, Alter Joe? You might need to get to go to Google Chrome. That'll make a big difference for you. And so what I like to do sometimes is I have some water right here, and I have it closed because of my computer. I sometimes just, you know, I'm scared that things are gonna tip. Sometimes I put water on the edges here, and the reason I do that is because it allows it kind of breaks up the fibers a little bit, and it allows it to really crumple and almost split apart, and you can get that, you know, like when your nail chips. Don't look at my nails, they're disgusting right now, but you know, they kind of split. So that kind of same thing happens with the paper. So I just really love that. It kind of gives it a really nice look. So that's what I want to do. On some of the edges, I just want to do that. I take a little bit of water and I break it up, and it's not so sharp. It really helps. Okay. It really helps. We have so many viewers tonight. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. We have a lot of guests too. Let's see how many guests do we have. If you're a guest, we have 25 guests. If you're a guest, you might want to create a Ustream account, and you'll actually be able to chat with us, which is really great. There's some pretty nice ladies around here. These are gels, but I'm getting them taken off. You guys, I'm going back to my natural nails. I've decided. I'm going to do a good routine for myself. It's my decision. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Now, what I just want to find out from you, how is the camera versus the paper? Am I too far away? Can you guys still see? Or should I bring it down just a little bit? You guys got to let me know, because I just want to make sure you guys can see this okay. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of following this sketch, and I'm going to kind of have it beside me so that you guys can follow along with it and you can kind of see what I'm doing. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating my strips. Okay, they're kind of my layers. Actually, sorry, before I do that, I'm actually going to create a little bit of the background before I do that. So in order to create the background, what I want to do is I want to take my stencil, which I left in my sink, because I'm a bad person. And this is the stencil that I'm going to use. It's one of the Prima stencils, and it's 564797. And I'd like to take, instead of taking modeling paste, I actually want to take some gel medium, okay? Just a little bit. Whoops. And I like to use Liquitex Gel Medium. Actually, I like to use any gel medium. I like Golden, Liquitex. It doesn't matter. This is matte in particular. I don't want it to be shiny. And I'm not grabbing too much either. Okay? And so I'm applying it down, and my stencil was a little bit wet because I had used it previously. I'm going to use it on the diagonal, or horizontal, I should say. Okay, and I'm going to apply a little bit up here. And I'm going fairly thin. And I know you guys won't be able to see it because it's pretty clear. Okay. But once we start spraying and painting, it'll look so gorgeous. And I just want to show it to you. Can you guys see that? I mean, you guys can see that, can't you? It's really pretty. I love it. It's one of my favorite stencils, actually. When it first came out, I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm digging it. And then, of course, the ones I least dig are the ones that I end up loving, right? Isn't that how it works? All right, so fairly thin and just like that. And I love that. Can you guys see that? So it's almost like a, you know, a line going through it. And I'm just going to do a tiny bit right here. Just a tiny bit, not too much. Just like that. Okay. And to make sure that it's not unbalanced, I'm going to do a couple lines at the top. But that's it. All right, superb. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the sink so that it does not crud up. All right. Because we don't need crudiness, right? And we're going to go ahead and close this up so this doesn't dry up. And I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to just give it a quick heat set. Yay, Laura Langley. Do you like the layout information? Great. I'm glad you're learning something. I'm drinking my tea as I drive. Do we have any questions? Not that I've done much, though. Oh, thunderstorming, huh? That's not good. I just test it. All right. Almost dry. Because it's glue, you know, it's kind of sometimes. The gel was, I'll show it to you again. It's matte gel medium by Liquitex, okay? But you can use it by Golden, you can use it by anybody else, okay? All right, welcome newbie. I love it. I'm gonna allow this just to dry on its own for just a couple minutes. And what I'm going to do before I do that, though, is I'm just going to kind of figure out, I'm going to have it in the center based on, you know, this sketch right here. It's kind of going to be in the center, right? About right there. But what I'd like to do is, let's see, is it fairly dry? Oh, it's still pretty wet right here. Let me just give it another quick heat set. Okay, now it's drying a little bit better. This one's a little bit thick. It's taking a little bit. Yes, thanks for coming. So glad to see some new people. I'm making it bubble. Okay, see? Woo! Ooh, it's stinky though. Oh my gosh, that's stinky. Oh. All right, don't do that too much. All right, you'll be inhaling some fumes. All right, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start the creation of my strips. So what's really fun is creating strips by ripping more than just cutting. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use rips instead of perfect ones. I am going to use this perfect one, but what I'll do is I'll rip the sides of it. Okay. So, and I'm going to start pasting it down because I think it's just, it's all about just having fun. And what I'm using right now is I'm going to use Beacon 3-in-1. You can use whatever you want. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use Zip Dry because it's not as, it's a little bit better for the paper, I find. But sometimes it gets clogged. Whoops. Okay, so I'm going to use my Zip Dry. See? It's clogged because I left it open. Oh, yeah. Okay, see, it's clogged now. I gotta unclog it, but I don't have my pen, so we're going back to 3-in-1. All right, there we go. Just like so. And so I'm gonna go ahead and create a whole bunch of strips, just like the sketch shows us above. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use all these fabulous papers that are in the collection. I'm gonna try not to use too much of this blue per se because I'm not going to have a whole bunch of blue on my layout, so I may, use this side more than anything, okay? But I will use a little bit, just a little bit. I'm just going to distress the sides just a tiny bit, so I don't have to actually rip them. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead, and you can use gel medium for this too. I'm just using this because it's a little bit easier, I find. Sometimes, oops, that's a really big strip. I don't need the biggest strip. I just don't. And don't try to make them the same length, FYI. Try to make them staggered in length, as you can see here, okay? Because it creates a little bit of a better look. Okay, just like so. And then we'll do a small strip, just like that, right there. Plus half the photo will go on there anyway. So you'll only see a tiny bit anyhow. And then we want to grab, ooh, look at this wood grain one. I love this one. So pretty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love that. Oh yeah, baby. Whoops. Just like so. Don't worry if you get glue in places. Who cares? This is such a mixed media layout that half this stuff is going to be covered anyhow. Kind of missed this spot right here. Okay, just like so. I have another piece right here. I may as well use it. May as well use it. I'm going to have it sticking out just a little bit. Just like so. Okay, and just trying to find some of the other papers, but the other paper kind of has those really cool, I really like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I really want some of this right here. I like that color, and that's the colors that I'm kind of focusing on. So, but I don't want to ruin some of these guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out. Okay. Just like that. All right, perfect. And then what I'll do is I'll cut from here, and then I'll apply it. That's better. That's a much better focus than that other blue one. I'm actually going to remove this one, and I'm going to apply this right there. And I'm going to apply this one about right there. just like so. And this guy is going to go right there. This is so much fun. I don't know why, but there's something about using strips of paper that makes my heart happy. Okay. And another strip. We're going to do one strip right there. Love that. Beautiful. I need another one of these in there. It's just a must. They're just so pretty. You know? You know what I'm saying? Just like that. And then let's make sure that this is actually down. Perfect. Isn't that cool so far? It's actually kind of pretty, isn't it? And so what I want to do is I want to measure my photo. So I know I need a few more, okay? So I'll do that. And so maybe we'll take a little bit more of that brown since we didn't use a whole lot. It's quite pretty. What do you mean, what do I do with? Hello, Susie from Brazil. Yay. What do I do with all my layouts? I put them in an album or I put them in bins because I have so many layouts. I need to buy more albums. That's how lazy I am. Actually, I'm not lazy. I'm busy. But eventually they'll go in albums. I promise. Lots of them are in albums. I do have to admit, lots of them are in albums. But sometimes, you know, they don't always make it. What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, you got to turn up the volume sometimes. Ustream sometimes when I get on, it's like this new thing where I actually have to turn the volume up now because they have it on mute. It's really, I don't know why that happens. It kind of bugs me a little bit. It's a new thing though that's happened. It was never an issue before, but now it is. Okay, so that corner doesn't really want to stay down, does it? Okay, just like that. And same with this guy. So we're going to put that down just like so. All right. Love, 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 love. Let's see. Let's test it out. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Right? Because if we put it on here, what we want to always make sure we do is that we actually have stuff sticking out. Do you guys see the sketch? If you look at the sketch, right, there's still some sticking out from the top, bottom, and sides, right? So we kind of got that pretty good, right? The only thing I want to do is I want a little bit more of that teal down here. And because I do have some, I'm going to use a little bit. So it's just one of those colors I'm kind of focusing on. So I want to tuck it right underneath there, actually. You guys know it's my favorite color. It was my favorite color before it became cool. Now everybody loves this color. All right. Perfect. Just like that, right? Do you see now the balance? It was a little bit unbalanced before. Now it's a little bit more balanced, right? All right. So the next thing, I take those off. And the next thing that I want to do is I want to do some of my mixed media fun stuff, okay? And I love the mixed media fun stuff. And I'm just kind of giving this a quick heat set. Not that it's really wet. I just kind of want the glue to get tacky on there and warm. Okay, perfect. Now what I want to do is, now I'm going to take, I love to do this stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my super heavy gesso and my regular gesso. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to whitewash just a little bit. Okay, so just a tiny bit. And I'm going to put some, actually I'm going to put that right there. Okay, I'm not going to use a whole lot of this kind. I am going to use a little bit more of this kind. And I love super heavy gesso. I really do. It's for sure one of my favorites. So the first thing that I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dip my brush in a little bit of water, which is beside me. You guys can't see it. And I'm going to grab that gesso right here. Okay, just a little bit. And I'm just going to whitewash some of the blue in particular. Okay, I don't want too much of that blue. Okay. And tone down just a tad bit of that brown. Just a tad bit. And with my finger, as you can see, I'm rubbing. Okay. Don't want too much. Okay. Just a little bit of gesso. All right, so I toned it down just a tiny bit. Now the next thing, I like a little bit of super heavy gesso because we're going to take some stuff and play around here in a moment. And I'm going to grab it and I'm going to start rubbing. I'm going to rub a little bit off on my mat and almost like creating this fabulous cloud. Okay, this fabulous cloud with your fingers. And you can't really do this with the other gesso. It just doesn't quite work the same. Ooh, and I love that this curled even nicer. Okay, just like so. Do you guys see that? Just a little bit of that beautiful cloudiness, but you can still see the color underneath, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. And it's kind of pasty, right? It's kind of like, do you guys remember Penitin cream? It's kind of that same consistency. I don't even, you know, kind of like that. Don't laugh, but seriously, that's kind of like the, I don't know how else to describe it. Okay. And look at, can you guys see the screen popping? The stencil that we used, can you guys see it a little bit better? When you put a little bit of that gesso. But you'll see even more because this is kind of where some of this spray and such will go. So I'm kind of creating this layer for some of that wonderful spray yumminess will go. Okay. It's kind of like a primer, and so it takes on different effects when you put the gesso versus just on the paper. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. And so my fingers are very dirty now, which I need to clean before I take the next step. I know, exactly, but that's kind of the consistency. So it's kind of really crummy to take off your fingers. Actually, super heavy gesso is a little bit easier to take off your fingers than Penitin. Penitin is oily. This is not oily. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick heat set. Do you see how it's a little bit toned down now? All right, perfect. I think it's pretty dry. I didn't put a whole lot on, so it dries very, very quickly. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start a little bit of my fabulous spraying and such. So there's a couple things that I wanted to use, and one of them is I want to use T-Bird turquoise, okay? And instead of using it in the spray form, I was kind of hoping to do some splattering. So where is my, I should protect myself, so just a moment, and my computer, so give me a second. I'm just putting something on top of my shirt so that it does not, and you know what I'm putting on top of my shirt? The cheesecloth that's sitting right here. Because guess what? I'm wearing a white shirt, kind of, like, you know, there's white on it. All right, so what I'm going to do is, this is a flat Fabio, and you wonder if gesso will work on babies' bottoms. Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Okay, this is T-Bird turquoise flat Fabio, which means no shimmer, okay? I'm not really going for shimmer on this layout, but what I am going to do is I'm going to show you on a blank piece of paper. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to literally splatter, create one of those. Can you guys see that? Do you guys want the screen down just a tad, the camera? How's that? Is that a little bit better? So we're like really going to splatter, okay? I want to create a whole bunch of those. or a couple at least. It is Lindy's, just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to bring that over. Again, it's T-Bird turquoise, and I'll show you. Camera focus. There we go. Okay. All right, so we're going to start up here, and we're going to, ooh, funky. There we go. Oh, good thing I put that thing on. Totally splattered myself. There we go. And then I'm kind of blowing on it, allowing it to move a little bit more. If you have a straw with you, which I don't know where my straw went, it works even better. But this is really, really cool, okay? And so also if you move it around just a little bit, it creates a little bit more splatters, right? Just like so. And allowing it to drip is even better. And it kind of tones down the darkness of it. Okay, I'm coming on this side. Yep, allow it to come. Perfect. I'm actually going to wipe a little bit of that off. I don't want too much on here. Okay, perfect. All right, do you see that? Love those splatter marks up here, right? Subtle, but really pretty at the same time. And I'm going to do one about right here as well, but very little, just like that. Okay. And I'm just going to give it a quick heat set. And the heat gun is really good to move it around as well. Lindy Stamp Gang sprays are wicked with 7 Dot Studios, FYI. No, it's not one of their new colors. Well, I mean, like from this year, but no, it's not one of the new ones. No shimmer. Lindy Stamp Gang, yeah. Okay. Fabulous. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'd like to take, this is kind of fun, okay? And I thought you guys might like this. I do want to add just a little bit of pink, and a little bit of black. So actually, let's add the pink first, and then we'll do the other fun part. So I'm going to add a little bit of Cosmopolitan pink, but not too much, okay? And I'm just shaking it out. So this is Cosmopolitan pink, and it is shimmery. Just a little bit. Okay, and just moving it around, getting it really beautiful in there. And a little bit on the top. Okay, just like so. Like as you can see, I'm not adding a whole lot, and it's not the darkest color on the planet, which is perfect. But the shimmer, once it's dry, is stunning. So let's give this a quick dry. Oh, Yvonne, you're on here. Yay! Yeah, it is. Isn't it pretty? It's called Cosmopolitan Pink. All right. Okay. Now, so many of you, I don't know why you guys are obsessed with these, but I mean, I know why, because they're awesome. I'm going to use a couple of my Neo colors. They're water-soluble wax pastels. Okay. And these are my new ones. Like, look, it's brand new. I'm opening it just for you. Look how beautiful they are. Oh my yumminess, right? Look at, so pretty. Okay. So I want to use kind of like a gray black. So I think I'm going to use this guy. This one is, you can buy them in singulars as well. This is grayish. Oh my gosh, it's called grayish black. Isn't that hilarious? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to use grayish black. And we're going to use maybe a little bit of black. So let's use black as well. And we're not going to use anything else in there, I believe. And then do we want a little bit of a variance? A little bit. So let's use This is beige. No, we don't want beige. No beige. Mm-mm. But I'm thinking maybe we'll use this lighter gray as well. This is called dark gray, but compared to this, it's quite light, right? So we'll use that. And then I really want to use some of those wonderful teals. So let me just see which color is going to work. So there's this one, which is kind of nice. There's this one too. This one I think fits a little bit better with our layout. Yeah, I mean, we could do a variance and we can do two. That's really pretty, but it's more green. Okay, so let's do those, all right? And do we want a pink as well? Let's do a pink as well for fun. So let's take this one because it's very fitting. Just a little bit. These are really, really, really fun to play with. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to use a whole lot of pink. I do want to use a little bit of black though. So black's going to go about right here. And as you can see, it's like using a crayon, okay? Just like that. And then maybe a little bit of gray, lighter gray. Okay. Did I use this black? Oh no, here's the black. That was the dark gray. Okay. Just like that. Just wait. You guys are like, what is she doing? Don't worry about it. If you've never seen this before, don't you worry. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush, my stained brush. Can you tell what my favorite color is? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And I'm going to take my water, which is right in front of me. Can you guys see me splashing around? And I'm going to look at that. Look at that. Okay. If that's not yumminess, I don't know what is. Okay. This is how to create the perfect splattery mess because it's more controlled. So if you're not a big sprayer, this is a very good solution for you. Okay. And so the more water you add, and what you can do, which I like to always have, is a spray bottle. So you can really move it around. And I can do the same thing here and allow it to really move. If I want to get rid of those lines, I just go ahead with my brush and get rid of those lines. Okay. And just really allow it to drip. And so the reason I put gesso on there, because I really love the way it reacts with the gesso versus the paper, and it gives it a really nice variance of color. Okay, and so if I want it a little bit darker, I'm adding a little bit up here as well. Okay, I'm just creating a really wonderful mess, right? Don't you love it? These are Neocolors. Oh yeah, thank you, Dawn. Neocolor 2 water soluble crayons. They're awesome. And I'm just adding a little bit more black. Okay. Maybe just a little bit down here. Okay, and a little bit up here. And then I'm even going to add a little bit of this guy here. Just like so. And then let's add a little bit of the pink, shall we? It's more peachy. It's called, actually, salmon. Salmony. Salmony salmon. So let's do up here first. And so I'm just going to dip my brush in the water. And these will kind of blend together a little bit, which is fine. And there's no gesso on there, so you kind of have to watch because it's harder to get those lines off, which is why I usually use gesso. Kind of forgot about that. Okay, and so then blend that. It's kind of going to turn gray. I should have done one color at a time, but that's okay. I should know better. And this guy right here as well. Perfect. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love it. Love, love, love. And I'm just letting it drip. Isn't that cool? Don't you love that, guys? I love it. All right. So did you learn something new? That's it. I'm done. just joking. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take my little baby wipe some of that off, just some of the excess water, that's all. Okay, and give it one quick heat set. All right. Did I get you addicted to something already? I knew it. I knew it. I knew you guys would love these. And so what I like to do is I like to take, for an added effect, I actually like to take my gelatos, okay? This is my black gelato, a little bit different, and I like to rub, and it creates a little bit of darker tone on top of what I just created, okay? Just like that. Isn't that cool? Don't worry, this will be toned down. So the next thing that I'm going to do, you guys may think I'm silly, but this is kind of like how you create layering, okay? And I'm going to take that same brush that I had with the gesso, and I'm going to give some of it a little bit of a wipe. And it tones it down just a tiny bit, okay? So it's not so dark, but at the same time, it's still there. Just the art of layering, okay? Must not be afraid. And whenever you find yourself, you know, you're like, oh, I don't really like that, grab some gesso. Do it again. That's kind of the beauty of gesso, actually. All right. I kind of love gesso. I get addicted to it a little bit, as you can see. As you can see, I'm going a little bit slower on this layout than what I usually do, because I find that a lot of people ask me to go a little bit slower because they say that sometimes I create my layouts a little bit too fast and they have a hard time keeping up. So what do you think? Are we good? All right. I'm not even allowing you to answer. Just say yes, ma'am. There goes my new color. I almost broke it, but I didn't. It's all good. All right. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do, oh, I'm going to heat this for 1 second just to dry that gesso. Gelato. I use gelato. This gelato. Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft. You're old schooler? That's okay. Old school's fine too. Okay. Now, the next thing that I'd like to do is I'm going to add just a tiny bit more of that pink. Okay, do you see that? How it just kind of pops a little bit? Isn't that pretty? There we go. Fabulous. I love that. And we're just going to let that sit for a moment. Now, the next thing I'm going to grab is, when I create a project, I grab a box full of the stuff that I'm going to use for that project. So from, you know, from my stamps to maybe my flowers, right, to the embellishments that I'm going to use, right, to the wood embellishments, and so on and so forth, right? And so the next thing that I would like to do is I'd like to stamp a little bit. And so I have several stamps here from Prima, because they're my favorite, of course. And I love this one. This is a fairly new stamp, which I'd love to use. Look at this one. It's so pretty. It's 960797. These are like $1 or something, 99 cents. Isn't that cool? It's so neato mosquito. And let's see, is Old Road on here? No. It's in my Live with Prima box, which by the way, you guys, I'm doing a Live with Prima show on Thursday. Hang on, I gotta grab it. Okay, it's my most, by the way, really quick, I'm doing these 3 mixed media cards on Thursday Live with Prima, so you better come and see them. They're awesome, super fun. This is Old Road Chalk Ink by Prima. Okay. And this is like a kind of like a chain link. And I like this Old Road because it's more of a gray than a black. I'm just going to dry this piece up so I can stamp. I know. Twice in 1 week, baby. Sorry, hang on. I just want to make sure this is dry before I go ahead and stamp. All right, let's re-ink this. Who's shaking whose booty? Oh, you guys are funny. Did I say shake my booty without even knowing? Do you guys notice what I do? When I stamp, I always grab the sides of my stamp and I roll versus like stamping straight, because otherwise you're going to get that square, which you don't want, right? So I just literally roll, okay? And then I just, at the edges, I can just go in and just give it a quick stamp. Oh, sorry, just about dropped my heat gun. Okay, just like that. Okay, so there's a little bit of a background, right? And it's very subtle, but it's there. Let me show it to you. Can you see that? Really pretty. I don't know. I really like that. I really love these background stamps. They kind of give a whole lot of character. And this is another one of my faves, which is 960902. Okay, good night, Joe. And we're going to take that. Can you tell I haven't used this one yet? And we're going to do the circles. And we're going to stamp here and there. Okay. We're going to give this page a little bit of something. And I do want to grab a little bit of a darker stamp pad, so like stays on ink or something like that. And grab it. Oops. Right here. Because I want to give it a little bit of the color variance. But, you know, sometimes your stamp pad, stays on stamp pad, is dry. There we go. Well, that's dark. Not quite what I was going for, but hey, let's go with it. Let's roll. Let's roll with it. It's just what I do. Let's roll with it. Okay, so I'm going to put that screen right back on and slide that back in. All right, so those are 2 little background stamps that we used. And then I really love, this is an older one. It's, look at, I'll show it to you. See the script? It's really, really pretty. They don't smear when they're dry. 550929. Yeah, the chalks do not smear when they're dry, which is really awesome. But they do have to be dry, okay? So that's kind of the trick. And so I'm going to use this one. So it's really pretty. Really, really pretty. Okay, even down here. Oops, you can't see that. Sorry, I'm off frame. Didn't mean to be off frame. All right, so there's that. And so we'll leave the stamping for now, not for always, just for now. And now we're going to start adding our layering for the photos. So the next thing that I'm going to grab is this right here. And this is, I got this when I was in Israel. So for all you Israeli crafters, you can go, at the end of my show, I'll post the link at the store that I got it from, okay, where I was teaching at. But it's really cool. But I mean, you can find these everywhere. All these companies have them right now. They're chipboard, okay. I just happened to like it, so I grabbed it. I'm going to cut it in half so that I can actually use it on the top and the bottom of my layout. So I'm going to start creating a little bit of layering. I'm actually going to leave it this color. I'm not coloring it. I actually like the color that it is, which is pretty cool. Okay, so here's the start of my layer. And the next thing that I'm going to grab is I'm going to grab some of this fabulous lace. This is another Prima lace. I only have a little bit of it. So that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to use a couple strips of these. Okay. And before I apply that, I'm actually going to apply this right here. Okay, just like so. And this one. And we're going to apply this one about right there. And we're going to put a little bit more glue right there. You know we'll gesso this up. You guys already know that. But I kind of like the variation of it. And I just like to take my finger and I apply a little bit of gesso. Actually, I'm going to take my brush because you know what? I'm doing a show. It's better if I use my brush for the show. Otherwise, everything gets dirty. And just like that. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Now I'm going to use a little bit. This is from May Arts, if I'm not mistaken, and it's kind of like this webbing. It's really great for Halloween, actually. It's really just something really fun, and you can just like really, you know, play with it and kind of stretch it and stuff. So I really like it. I think it's really fun, and it's something that I'm going to kind of tuck underneath my photo mats when I create them here in a moment. So I'm just cutting a couple up. Okay. Just like so. And I'll have those sitting there waiting for me. And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to take a little bit of this, this is really old, and my hairs, this is really old Prima Scotch tape looking thing. Isn't this cool? Let me show you on a white piece of paper so you can see it. Hang on. I'm going to put one down. This is what it looks like on a white piece of paper. Funky, right? So I just want to add a little bit of it because I want to, because I think it's a really cool element. Something really fun. Don't y'all think? I think so. We're going to add about one there. Oops, stuck to my finger at the moment. Just like so. And we're going to add about one right there. Fabulous. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And the next thing, because I did want a lot of black, this is just an excess Dear Lizzie American Craft sticker, or letters, sorry, I should say. I'm going to pull these out. You're like, what is she going to do? What on earth is this woman going to do next? Now tell me, people. Don't you worry. You'll know in a second. Patience, my children, patience. And the photos are going to go about, I always grab them and I always kind of play with them. Oops, got stuck together. They're going to go about right there, right? So I'm going to kind of create this really funky little collage. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. And with letters and with numbers, we're going to cover them up. It'll be super fun. I love doing this. I've done this on several layouts before, and I don't know, it's just so much fun. And what actually kind of gave me the idea, right, to do this again is, let me show you, is the fabulous paper. So these papers, when you look at a paper, it'll always give you some inspiration, right? So this is just a fabulous way to, you know, stay true to the paper. I mean, how awesome is that, right? How awesome is that? And I just continue to kind of put my, don't worry, we're toning this down, by the way. They're not going to be as dark. I kind of just continuously put my layout. You know what I'm going to do? Don't think I'm crazy, but I'm going to pull this off and I'm going to turn it the other way so that it's facing, so that the little things are facing out. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Now I'm happier. That makes me happier. Okay, so kind of like that. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of add this right there. Did Lisa go to sleep yet? I know, isn't that cool? Don't you love it? How fun is it to make with all those extra letters that you totally have no idea what to do with, right? This is just kind of like that perfect little piece, you know what I mean? So we'll do a couple right here as well. Okay, we need some numbers, maybe an O. I don't want too many, but some, just enough, right? And I love these. So much fun. Do you guys like these? Is this fun or what? So much fun, right? Hello, how are ya? Late is okay. It's okay to be late. It's just fashionably late, right? So somewhere about that, I really like that. I'm going to kind of leave it because I could go crazy all night because that's kind of what I do. I just love to play with those. All right, so we're going to leave those. Really fun. And what I like to do as well is they need to be toned down, people. They really need to be toned down a little bit. So what I like to do, I'm going to try a couple things. The first thing I'm going to try is this gray one on top of it because I think that'll tone down the shininess. Yes, look at that. It totally does. And this is that old road again. Look at that, right? It really toned that shiny letter down, which really makes me feel much better at the moment. Okay, which is a little bit better for this layout. Okay, perfect. I love that. Right? That really toned it down, did it not, you guys? Like they're just not so crazily popping out at your face, which was kind of bugging me, but at the same time, I really liked it. So I was kind of conflicted, right? Okay. So really, really pretty. I love, and they're self-adhesive. How easy is that, right? So I'm going to give them a quick heat set just so that I can set that color right on there because it's still a little bit wet because it's that chalking. Questions, anyone? Oh my gosh. I didn't see it either. That's awesome. I guess I'm truly Canadian. All right. I love it. That is just too funny. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start applying our layers. All right, so this will be one of the layers. And like I said, I just keep placing I always keep placing my photos to ensure that they are how I want them to be. Okay, it's just about, that's all about playing, you know? And if I'm going to tuck that much, I may as well cut some of that off because I am frugal and I kind of love this. And so I, want to use it on a different project maybe another day. So just like that. And I'm kind of going to do the same thing here because I'm tucking quite a bit on there. Okay. So maybe we'll tuck that right there. Just like that. What do you guys think? Cool? All right. Just like so. And we'll save this, okay? Because it's really pretty. All right. Now the next thing, I'm not gluing it down quite yet because I'm going to add a little bit more layers, of course, right? And I don't know, I have half this clock, don't know where it came from, probably from another one of my shows. I don't know if I'm going to use it. Doesn't really go. No, it doesn't go. I just pulled it. I just thought maybe it would go. It doesn't go. Okay, let's start with the other embellishments. So what I'm going to add is, I love these Prima wood icons. And this is a new package because I've used so many of these before. I just love them so very much. And these are 960223. Okay. I love this so very much. Come on, baby. Come out, wherever you are. There we go. I did it. I did it. And I want to show you the layout or the sketch one more second. There's some stuff on the top and right here, a little bit on the side. So I'm going to do a little bit of that with some of this as well, just so you know, if you're wondering. But I love breaking these puppies up. I really do. Because you know what? You just don't need them all. You really don't. Okay. And I'd like to gesso these puppies up. So I'm going to take a little bit of gesso. Not too much. Just like so. Later I'm going to go ahead and spray them. And it's part of my layering process. And it's going to go about right here. Okay. And this one's going to go right on the top there. Okay. This one's going to go about right there. Just like that. And then to balance the layout, I'm probably going to have that up here. And I'm also going to grab a little bit of this lace. You guys are wondering, what is she doing? This woman is crazy. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of the Prima cotton tape. But you can use this is cotton tape, but you can use I don't know, what do you call that? Hospital tape, I guess. Lots of people use that too. So you can totally use that. And that really works. But I love this stuff. It's awesome. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste this one down in a moment. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp, which is right here, and take my StazOn ink in particular. Okay. And I'm going to stamp it on the StazOn ink. Okay. You guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to create my own washi tape. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, look at that. Now I have my own washi tape, and you guys know what I'm going to do next, right? Take it one step further, and the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my, oh yeah, baby, and a little bit of my pink. Ta-da, and give this a quick heat set. It's not perfectly dry, but I'm going to go ahead and wipe some of this off so that we can continue creating this layout. Okay. And so I am going to pull this tape off. There, that gun just about fell on the ground. And I don't want the entire thing. I think it's a little bit too thick. So I want to cut a little bit off. Just like so. I'm going to add it right to the top right there. Okay. And like that. Do you see that? And then I'm going to take my piece, this one, and I'm going to gesso it up, just like I did the previous ones. Okay. And I'm going to take some glue. What time is it? I got 15 minutes left, right, guys? I better hurry the heck up. And we're going to add this right to the top here. Okay. Actually, we're going to do a little bit less. I like a little bit less. It's too big. There we go. Pieces flying everywhere. Ow, don't get slivers. Don't get slivers. Oh, look, we need to use that little piece. That can go, oops, that can go in Ava's head. Right there. Okay, fabulous. Lovin', 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 lovin'. What do you guys think? You like it so far? I kind of like it. Good night, Sue. All right, just like so. I'm going to go ahead and add some of my flower layering, okay? But before I do that, I found this hinge and I really want to use it. So I didn't find it in my husband's garage, but, and there's 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead, I think it's from one of my old classes. I think it's from maybe my classes from Israel. So I'm going to go ahead and gesso this puppy up. I just really like it, and I don't know, I really want to use it on this layout. Not sure why, I just did. I think I'm going to use it like right here. Oh yeah, yeah. Really love that. Oh yeah, baby. Okay. And then we're going to tuck this about right here. Okay, it's going to go about right there. Just like so. Don't you love that? Really fun, right? Okay, so let's start kind of layering some of these, gluing some of these down. But before we do that, I'm going to take just a couple other things. I'm going to take, whoops. Do you guys remember these? These are Prima Essentials number 9. They're old. I love them. They're from the Flights of Fancy, but they kind of go perfectly with this layout, do they not? So I kind of had to pull them out, and I'm just going to pull a whole bunch of them out. Probably not going to use this many, but I'm going to layer some of them underneath. Okay, so I'm going to actually start gluing. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to start placing some of these down. Okay. Just like so. This guy's going to go right there, right? Ta-da! This guy's going to go right there. Stay, baby, stay. He's just been told. Stay, baby, stay. I promise you I don't speak like that to my husband. Often. He's probably like, yeah, right, woman. Yeah, right. All right. Oh, we can't forget this little piece, right? Just like that. All right, all right. I'm losing some people here because I'm going too slow. All right. Now, I kind of bring my photos back. It's just one of the things you do. Back and forth, back and forth. Measure it out. Make sure that it's okay. You can move it a little bit, right? Just like that. Move this down a little tiny bit. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And so then I'm going to start tucking my flowers so that I kind of know where they're going to go, right? And sometimes I even like to fold them. So I'm going to fold them. And I'm going to leave my photos there so I kind of know where they're going to go. But right there. Just watch because your fingers may be all messy with glue like mine are. So you certainly don't want to get it on the photos. Okay. So you want to start placing some of these flowers as little layers. Okay. It's just part of layering a little bit. You don't want too many. I'm not going crazy with them. Okay. Oops. We're almost done. Just like that. Right, so just a little bit, and we need just a little bit up top here. So I just fold them up. And we're going to tuck a little bit of one underneath right there. Just like so. Perfectamundo, right? We got it? All right, so the next thing, I know, it's like the next thing and the next things, is I'm going to take some of the fabulous metal flowers. These are just extras I have from classes, so I like to use them up. You know what I mean? I don't know if I like that one or not, but no, I actually like this one a little bit better. All right, perfect. And you guys know I actually love to cut these puppies up. Okay. It's like my obsession. I may not even use all of them. Where did this one come from? It just fell, right? Okay, so this one I really love for it to go right here. And I am going to gesso it up after. But I kind of want it to go right there. Just like so. So cute. Okay, just like that. And then I am going to take one of these, but first I'm going to gesso it up because I am tucking it. Okay. You can leave it a little bit gold because you know what? The layout has enough brownish gold that it'll be all good. And I'm just going to tuck it about right there. Just like so. Fabulous. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to tuck this one right in here. I'm going to rip this up. I'm going to tuck it right there so that it kind of pops out, I should say. Oops. I should probably add a little bit more glue though. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So that when I glue this down, I'm actually going to go ahead and glue that down so that it's actually really down. And this just kind of peeks out. Okay. So I'm just going to hold it down. Okay. And then I kind of like a little bit of this guy. No, not so much. We're going to leave that. Okay. So we need to gesso this guy up a little bit. Gotta watch my photos. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. What do you guys think so far? We're almost done. Isn't that super fun? Super, super duper fun, right? Okay, but what does it need? It needs a couple things. It needs some of the title, right? And I'm thinking it needs one of these fabulous little clips by Prima. I love these little clothespins. They're super duper adorable. And let's add some dimensional dots to this baby, right? So where can my dimensional dots go? Here. Here they are. So we need to prop these up because I like when my photos and layouts and stuff are propped. So it gives a lot of fun dimension. So I'm just adding those dots to my, I know I'm off camera, sorry. Okay, so we're going to add this right here. Okay. Just like that. Oops, moved over just a bit too much. Perfect. And now let's add this pop dot to this guy. You guys probably can't tell the dimension, but it's really cool. Oops, I got some gesso on her face. I'm almost done, y'all. All right, gorgeous. Okay, and we're going to tuck that one right there to kind of go over top of the other one. Okay, just like that. Love, 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 love. And of course we need this little guy, right? So we're going to kind of have him pinned about right there, or maybe on the side. Kind of like the side, maybe a little bit better. Not on her face though, maybe on here. Just like that. Okay, I love that. Super duper pretty. And then I do want to add a little bit of flowers because you guys know me, I'm the flower person, right? Can't do flowers, can't not do flowers. And I was going to add a couple of these bigger ones underneath as well. And I was going to tack like another one like right there. Yep. I'm going to move this guy out. Just like that. Yep, yep, yep. Last but not least, we're going to add a little bit of, I might want to move this guy out. See, this is how I create sometimes. I just start poking stuff out. We're going to add this guy right there because I love him. So pretty. We're going to tuck him. He's not going anywhere. He's just going to go right there for a very subtle hint of yumminess. But we might need to add a little bit more glue because he's kind of coming undone. Coming undone. All right, just like so. And then maybe we'll add another one of these guys, maybe down here. No, not so much. I thought maybe like here, here, here. I'm playing. Last but not least, I'm just playing. Maybe not, maybe not. Nope. Maybe one more flower. Let's see if I can find one over here. Do I have enough? Oh, that's really big. How about a little bit of this vine? Just a little bit, and then we're done. This is what happens when I play on camera. You guys get to watch me be indecisive and add more stuff, you know? It's just kind of how it works. All right, just like that. Ooh, that's cute. Cute, cute, cute. Ooh, I love that. Love, love, love. All right. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. And we'll add a little bit of white to this green because we don't want, oops, we don't want this to be too green. And then, of course, we need to add a little bit of gesso around the edges of the photo. Otherwise, it's too crisp and just doesn't quite work the way we want it to. Correct? Just like that on both sides. Just watch that I'm not getting quite her face. We don't want crisp images. All right. And we'll add a little bit for texture and dimension. We'll do the same thing to all the letters. And it just actually makes them pop even more. Just a little bit. And at the same time, it almost tones them down. Okay. Ta-da! What do y'all think? Okay. And I find some of this piece is a little bit dark, so I'm just gonna sometimes if it's a little bit dark, I just go ahead with my gesso and I just give it one last little wipe. Okay. I love it when it just tones down a little bit. Gesso is like the Mr. Fix-It-All. That's what I call it. It's the Mr. Fix-It. Mr. Fix-It Gesso. Okay. Just tones everything down. Fabulous. Better, much better, don't you think? Much, much better. Sometimes I go a little bit nutty on the gesso. So that is my layout, my friends. What do you guys think? You like? I think I have gesso on my face at the moment. I think it turned out pretty cute, very dimensional, very fun. You know, it was fun. It's just fun. And I think that you just need to let your creative freedom go. I think sometimes we're just a little bit too constrained, you know. So I'm hoping you learned something. And go get yourself some 7-dot paper. I was going to use, you know, one of the things that I was going to use was, I may do it after. I'm not really sure, but I really loved that saying that she had on here, where just close your eyes and amazing things will happen. What I think I'm going to do, actually, you guys, and I'll do this maybe off camera, but I wanted to show you really quick what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the title, but I'm actually going to cut it into pieces so that it's just, and I'm going to add it, you know, with pop dots, right? Like throughout my layout. So I'm going to maybe add it to the top here, you know, just close your eyes and maybe amazing things will happen, right? So something like that. So I'll do something really fun like that at the end. But I just, I think that's it. That's all for tonight. Otherwise, I'm losing too many people. So for those of you that are watching the recording, thank you so much for watching. And please join the Lily Moore Mixed Media Group. Go check out the Flying Unicorn to get some of these papers. And of course, if you want to check out more of the 7-Dot Studio collections, head over to the website, which I will put in the YouTube video for y'all.